Google's kubectl-ai is a revolutionary open source project that seamlessly integrates with large language models like Gemini, Bedrock, and local LLM providers such as Ollama with Kubernetes operations, enabling users to interact with Kubernetes clusters using natural language. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, let's turn Kubernetes operations into an event-driven workflow using kubectl-ai wired to a local LLM with Ollama. Let us understand how kubectl-ai works on a high level. The user talks to the terminal using natural language via kubectl-ai. The terminal sends prompts with cluster context to the local LLM server and separately talks to the Kubernetes API server for real actions. The local LLM only returns a plain or a kubectl command. It never talks directly to the Kubernetes cluster, so all access stays mediated by kubectl. Let us understand why pair kubectl-ai with local LLM. With local LLM, your cluster config, pod names, service names, logs will never leave your environment, which is critical for regulated workloads or any cluster holding customer data. With local LLMs, you will have low latency for each request and no dependency on external API availability or rate limits during incidents. You can cut down cost because once GPU or CPU is provisioned, you are not paying per token. You can iterate aggressively on prompts and workflows for AIOps without hitting your SaaS cost. You can also fine-tune your models that behaves well within infra task rather than being tied to a generic chat model. In this demo, I'm going to run Ollama on my local machine. It exposes an open AI compatible HTTP endpoint, which kubectl-ai can talk to. As a step one, we need to install Ollama on our machine. I'm currently on a Linux-based operating system, hence I will use the curl command to install it. If you're on a Mac OS or a Windows, please go ahead and choose the appropriate steps and install Ollama. Let me copy and head back to my terminal, and I will run the curl command and hit enter. It's prompting me to enter the password. I will enter my password. And it's downloading the Linux AMD 64 bundle. Once the command execution is completed, we can verify our installation by running Ollama -- version command. In our case, it has installed Ollama version 0.13.5. Let us pull a lightweight model. Head back to the Ollama website, click on models. I will use Gamma 3. We can use Gamma 3:4b, which is the latest tag, and simply run Ollama pull Gamma 3:4b to pull the model. Let me copy and paste the command and hit enter. Let us rerun the command. It seems to work now. The model is pulled successfully to our local. We can run Ollama list command to list the model. We can see we have Gamma 3. It's time to install kubectl-ai. Ensure that you have kubectl installed and configured on your machine, because kubectl-ai is a plugin that sits next to kubectl in your terminal. Let's head back to kubectl-ai GitHub page, scroll down and click on installation. You can quickly run the following curl command to install on Linux and Mac OS. If you want to check the other installation method, you can just click on this arrow and you have an option to install it. Since I'm on a Linux machine, let me quickly copy this, head back. Let me clear the screen and run it, enter. Let me enter the password. and we can see the kubectl-ai is installed successfully. We can also run kubectl-ai version command to verify the same. Let's ask our cluster a question. We can use kubectl-ai followed by the LLM provider, which is Ollama in our case. Then you need to mention the model gamma3 colon 4b, then set -- enable tool use shim and hit enter. Let us ask how many nodes are in my cluster. It executed the kubectl get nodes command and also give you more information, like there are 5 nodes in your cluster, and lists out like k master, k worker 1, k worker 2, and k worker 3. This is one of the very simple use case. We can do much more with kubectl-ai. Let us ask our kubectl-ai to create a deployment and expose it using a cluster IP service. While this is executing, let me open another tab, and if I run kubectl get pods, we currently don't have any pods. Let's head back. We got a response stating that it is going to execute kubectl create command, which is kubectl create deployment web app image nginx, and it is asking you whether you want to continue or not. I would say yes. Then it runs the kubectl create deployment command with the image nginx. Next, it is asking me whether do you want to continue creating a service. I would say yes. And it is running the kubectl expose deployment command and creating a service type called cluster IP. And it also give you a confirmation that both resources are created and running. Let's head back and run kubectl get pods again, and we have a pod. Also, we can say kubectl get svc, which will list the service, in our case web app. We can also configure our kubectl-ai using a YAML configuration file at .config location to prevent the flags which we mentioned, like the model information or the provider, so we don't have to retype them in. I'm creating a directory called kubectl-ai under .config path, then add the flags like model, LLM provider, enable to use shim, etc. Let me hit enter. If we list the kubectl-ai directory, we have config.yaml, and we can also check the content of the config.yaml to ensure that we have the right information. Now you can simply invoke our kubectl-ai by running kubectl space ai command and hit enter. It will take you directly in, and you should be able to converse with the cluster. Let me exit from the prompt. We can extend the agent with custom tools. kubectl-ai can call any binary you describe in the .config/kubectl-ai directory, which we created earlier. Let us go ahead and create a config called tools.yaml and add Elm as our custom tool. Let me hit enter. Let us go ahead and verify by catching the tools.yaml file, and we can see we have Helm listed. To enable the custom tool, you must point your kubectl-ai to the directory containing the tool configuration. In our case, the tools.yaml. We can do that by simply running kubectl-ai, then pass the flag called custom tools config and the path. Then you can run the commands. I have created a Python application which provides a beautiful UI to interact with our Kubernetes cluster using kubectl-ai. In order to follow, you need to have Python 3 installed on your machine. In my case, I have Python 3.13. we need to create a virtual environment using python 3-m venv command. Navigate to the directory where you want your project and run python 3-m venv, then the name of your environment. I will call my environment as Ollama-env and hit enter. Once done, to activate the environment, you can run source command, source Ollama-env /bin/activate. And in my case, on the right hand side, I can see my virtual environment is active. Next, we need to install the Ollama Python library. We can do that by running pip3 install Ollama command. So we can do pip3 list command to verify, and we can see we have Ollama installed in our environment. Let me give you a quick overview of our application. It's called kubectl-ai-app.py. We are importing a client library from Ollama. Then we have defining our model. If you're using a different model, please go ahead and change it. In my case, it is Gamma 3. And we are defining the Ollama host, which is running at localhost port 11434. We also give our LLM a context. Next, we also create a logging for our application. So whenever you run the application, it logs. It also tests the Ollama service. If you have not installed the Ollama library, it will prompt you to install by running the pip install command. And it also additionally tests the connectivity between our LLM and the model. You can take a look. I will include this in my GitHub page. Let me close and exit. Initially, when we ran our kubectl-ai command, this is how we interacted. Now let us run the Python application, which creates this beautiful UI where it shows the status of your LLM, which is connected, and also the model information. And you have 3 steps. One where you can describe what you want to do. Then it would review and give you a command and an option to execute. Let us ask our cluster a simple question like list all our pods in our cluster and click on generate command. This would create a command called kubectl get pods -a, which you can click on execute now, which will be executed against our cluster, and we get an output with all the pods listed. kubectl-ai can be used to perform complex tasks like debugging issues in Kubernetes cluster or creating application with simple prompt. For day-to-day work, this cuts down boilerplate and help keep best practices consistent, especially for teams onboarding new engineers. But again, the plugin doesn't bypass GitOps or policy. You can still pipe this through PRs, policy engines, and approvals. Let us answer why a DevOps or SRE team should care. kubectl-ai takes care of the boring part of Kubernetes for us. Instead of memorizing long kubectl commands and tricky JSON path expressions, we can describe what we want in plain English and let the tool generate the commands, which means we can spend our brain power on understanding the problem and deciding what to do next instead of fighting with syntax. During an incident, we don't want to jump between 10 tools and dashboards. kubectl-ai lives directly in our terminal right next to our kubeconfig, logs, and runbooks. We can encode our usual incident playbooks as prompts and reuse them. The result is less time clicking around and more time actually fixing the issue, which directly reduces our incident length. By running the LLM locally with Ollama, all our cluster details stay inside our own environment. Things like namespaces, internal URLs, and logs are never sent to a third-party service. On top of that, we are not relying on some external APIs that might be slow, rate limited, or downright when we are on call. The AI is always available on our own hardware. For junior engineers, kubectl-ai is like having a mentor sitting in the terminal. They can ask for an action in plain English, see the kubectl command and YAML that gets generated and learn from it. Over time, this feels like an interactive runbook that responds to their questions, helping them ramp up much faster on real Kubernetes workflows. Even though we are using AI, we still stay in control. kubectl-ai only suggests plans and commands. kubectl itself is what actually talks to the API server. Our existing RBAC rules still apply. We can run dry runs, and we can require manual confirmation before anything changes in the cluster. So it's more of a trusted copilot than an autopilot. It helps us move faster without giving up safety. In summary, kubectl-ai as a Kubernetes diagnostic assistant significantly improves operational efficiency and reduces troubleshooting time, allowing operations teams to focus more on core business needs. For DevOps and SRE teams, the value is clear: less toil, faster incident response, and a safer way to expose AI to your cluster without sending data to the cloud. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more Kubernetes and AI related videos. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.